This is a two-story tiny home behind me. It has a really cool silo design. It's meant mostly for couples, weddings, events, but it's pretty sweet. So let's go take a closer look. The name of the property is called Bloom Meadows, and today we're up in the Berkshires, located in Massachusetts. I've never been to this part of the country before, but it was really beautiful. The tiny house is located on over 75 acres of land up here in Massachusetts, and there are some hiking trails, so definitely a great idea to go on a short hike during your stay. We'll enter the property now though. This is the main front entrance, and we'll head down the long driveway on the left. There are a few buildings throughout the property. The main other building I'll point out is this one right here, and this is called the Bloom Barn. Again, this entire property is mostly meant to host weddings, events, and private functions. They also have a space called the parlor, the trails and grounds we just saw, and again, everything from weddings to events. But today, we're going to focus just on their two-story silo tiny house. And here she is. The front exterior of this tiny home is actually on the other side, so I'll cover that in just a second. But this is where you're going to park your car, and we'll just go in through this first little door right here to cover the first floor. The first floor contains a full catering kitchen. What will often happen is that people will get married and then the lucky couple will spend the night in the silo, but I want to spend the majority of our time on the main space in the second floor in the exterior, so let's go and focus on that. Welcome to the front exterior of this silo tiny home. The main Airbnb space is through those two black double doors and up those stairs. We'll get to that very shortly. But in terms of the exterior, I really loved it, especially the roof as well. That was a really cool kind of cone shape. This is the property as a whole, but you also have this really sweet fire pit set up, plenty of seating. Again, if you're having a private function or an event for you all to kind of chill around here. And also at night as well, this entire area just lights up because you can turn some really cool lights and have a fire going, and it's a really sweet setup, a great space to spend time with family, friends, or colleagues. As it gets darker and darker and later into the night, this place is just so bright and it really sticks out from its surroundings. It feels like a medieval tower or castle to me. That will do it for the exterior though, so we're now going to walk up these steep stairs and they kind of wrap around the side of the tiny home, but it will take you up here and we have now arrived. Welcome to your little deck that is right in front of the main entrance, and these two double doors lead to the interior. You have a lot of space up here though, and this beautiful view of the Berkshires. I imagine it'll look even better in the fall time with all of the colors popping, the leaves out, and there's no snow. But that will do it for the exterior and everything else. Let's now head on inside. Welcome to the interior of this beautiful tiny home located up in the Berkshires. You can definitely tell pretty much right off the bat, mostly from the bed, everything from the comforter to the headboard to the pillows. This is definitely a very romantic space and meant mostly for couples. To begin to break down this layout though, we'll head over here to the left of the bed to this area, and so you have a little table here and a bench. The table is definitely meant where you can have your meals, and the bench I feel kind of put your shoes on or to hang out. Over the bench as well, you have some nice little decorations. But now to the left of the bed, you have a dresser here, so plenty of storage space. You have one of these on both sides of the bed, and on top of the dresser you have a guidebook to the Berkshires, the surrounding area, and instructions on the Airbnb. Now, one of my main and favorite features in this room is obviously that gigantic bed. This is the view as soon as you walk through those double doors. The fur at the end of the bed just felt very luxurious, very high-end, very romantic to me. You can have these really gigantic and plush pillows and this really stunning headboard that's just all this wood that's carved out. This is just one of the comfiest beds I have ever slept in my entire life. Let's now head on to the other side of the room. So we'll go to the right of the bed now, and there is an identical looking dresser, but there are a few different things waiting for you on top of it. There's this cool gadget right here, which is essentially a calendar, so you can kind of shift things around for the date. You have a charging station here, and you have a remote then, which controls your fireplace. This is a gas-powered fireplace. It actually surprisingly really heated up the room. A lot of gas fireplaces will just look pretty, but they won't actually heat up the space that much. This one did. Definitely a very cozy space to read a book and relax. As we begin to finish up in this main space, I also want to quickly point out the ceiling. Just look at all of this beautiful woodwork and design. Last but not least, you can open up these double doors and all this beautiful lights will stream in, and you don't have to even leave your bed. You can just lay here, open up the doors, and look out outside. We'll now round this corner next to the bed and begin to check out the second half of this tiny home, starting first with the kitchenette right here. This isn't a huge space, but they actually packed a ton of amenities into this area. Now on top of the countertop space, moving left to right, you have your toaster oven, your coffee and tea making supplies, and over here on the right hand side of the countertop, you have your Keurig pods, sugar, tea, and paper towels. On the shelf, you have your glasses and bowls and plates. On the opposite end, you have some coffee supplies. And then in this big drawer down below, you have utensils and some other accessories. Last but not least, you have a little beverage center or fridge down here. Basically everything you need to spend a night or two in this tiny home. We're now gonna head down this hallway as there are still 2 more areas to cover in the tiny home. We'll walk down this hallway past all those beautiful windows and we'll come into the first space, and that is your bathroom. You have your shower over there on the left hand side and your toilet is on the right. You have a towel rack and plenty of space over here though. Then on the opposite end, this is your shower. You have some beautiful subway tile and some really cool kind of green tile on the ground of this shower, but very clean and white and modern. Checks all the boxes for me. That will do it for the bathroom. But now onto the final area inside of this tiny home, and this is the sink area. It's just a little further down that rounded hallway. So the bathroom is to the left and straight ahead. The bed is to the right. You also have this lovely full-length mirror directly opposite of the sink, which is a nice touch. The sink is quite large though. There are 2 faucets on either side. Then running along that entire back wall, you have more of that beautiful white subway tile, which I believe is the same as the shower. Down below then you have some storage space, just some more towels, shampoo, conditioner, all the basics. Overall, this is a lovely space. I think a great area for couples to get ready before heading out to dinner. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I have a tiny home playlist linked down below. If you want to check out some of the other small spaces that I've toured recently, please also give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you in the next episode.